McNulty here. I just wanted to jump on and talk about the upgrade system that just launched with Landfall. So, long and short of it, basically every upgrade costs 4 justice. You get 4 item levels per upgrade, so every item will allow you to upgrade twice, basically, for 8 item levels. No doubt, I converted most of my valor into justice, and no matter how good or bad the item was, I upgraded it. Overall, my average item level was 502, and I believe I ended the night off at 514, which is massive. That's huge. I kind of just wanted to talk about it today, and how I feel about it. Firstly, I know a lot of you players are struggling to either clear heroic or even to get into heroic, so I know that this is a massive relief to you guys, but I have my reservations because you know me. Uh, Not exactly the most positive person in the world. As much fun as I was having last night during farm, doing silly shit like we were one healing Mushkin Vaults, focusing. I was focusing so hard and like just doing damage as a disc priest on the first boss of Hoth that we just let like 6 people die at the very end. Oops. We got the 2 healed protectors, and we got to 2 healed Shaxir. Now I'm on 10 man for just for relevance. Um, those were all we've been 3 healing a lot of those fights, so to be able to knock them down to 2 healers was very fun. It was amazing actually, and to be honest with you, I don't think we spent the night doing any tactics correctly. Yeah, we're bad. Do you want to know how bad we are? Um, Maybe I'll put it in the background. Here's us dying on the second boss of Heart of Fear during the wind tunnel because neither healer could get to the platform because we're so shit. Boss still died. That's the item level. That's the shit you're dealing with. You do everything wrong, and it still falls over. My point here really isn't, that this is bad essentially, but it just feels a little early to gut the raid so harshly. The item levels itself is an indirect nerf to the raid, to all of the raids, and yeah, we're still in the first tier, and to see such a big nerf was it's a bit, it's not as incrementally as bad as like what we seen in Dragon Soul and ICC, where they like release a 5% nerf over like a certain amount of weeks, but it does feel as big, and it's very instant. Like this upgrade system was meant to be designed that we upgrade over a certain amount of time, and you can do it with your valor, and you're only upgrading sort of your best of your best pieces. But now you have to upgrade everything. I don't know what guilds you guys are in, but to see any items unupgraded is just a failure, and someone's just slacking on your raid time. Um, but yeah, like I did joke last night because we did wipe on the first boss of Mushkin Vaults because we're great players. And I was like, dude, I can't believe we wiped when we have 70 item levels higher than when we first walked in here. And that was like a joke. I was exaggerating. I was just taking the piss. But when we stopped laughing and we were like, wait a fucking minute, we did the math. It was like over 50 item levels since when we first walked in here. It's like, fuck me, man. This is still the same tier. 50 item levels from when you walked in to when you walk out. And I still haven't got best gear. Like, I reckon it's going to be 60 item levels before we get to Throne of Thunder. But, yeah. My next point that I want to talk about is worse than nerfing the raid. The change itself is now forcing us back into the same shitty 5-mans. My guild were kind of unhappy last night when they did receive massive upgrades because that meant that they were now going to be forced to go back into 5-mans throughout the week to upgrade them. Each one of these upgrades that you get in a guild like ours, I'm sure in a guild like yours where you want to do the best that you can, it's just mandatory to upgrade these, especially if they're best. If they're best and they're not upgraded, we're not giving you best items if you're not going to upgrade them. Fuck that. And the fact that raiding on its own doesn't really get you anywhere near enough valor to do anything with. Like, we spent 3 hours in the raid last night, and now I've got to lock myself up into Celestial Jail. Like, fuck me. Can you just let me out of jail, please? Like, why the fuck do you keep putting me in here, Blizzard? I say Blizzard, but like obviously we threw ourselves into that jail and then we threw away the key. But yeah, we're always gonna blame Blizzard, right? I'm not gonna like take the blame for this. You mad? Yeah. Again, a lot of you are thinking we signed ourselves up for this. Um, and you're right, but it is still kind of shit. It just feels like every gameplay option outside of raiding is to just faceplant these 5-mans. And yeah, it hurts my soul to think about. Conclusion to this video, guys. I know it was a wee bit of a negative video, a wee bit of a downer video. I actually did have a lot of fun last night. Having the gear to do a lot of silly stuff and just enjoy the raid is an upside. It's not why I raid. I like the difficulty. I like having to do things correctly, and then when it comes to boys that like to do a bit of parsing, getting more gear and doing more damage is never fulfilling. It just I'd rather just do it of my own accord. Nerfing the raid's never the answer to me. Maybe it is to a couple of guys. I'm glad if you guys are getting your kills now. It's good. I'm sure if this was making people quit that you couldn't kill the raid, hopefully now you'll stick around, because this is the worst tier in Mist Pandaria. We are just waiting for Throne of Thunder. That's where my real excitement is coming from with Mist Pandaria. Though we will have to talk about the Thunder Forging system at some point. But yeah, Landfall has brought a massive nerf to these raids. And sadly, that does also mean that you're going to be stuck in Celestial Jail for a while. And I'm sorry about all my footage. It's all stream footage from last night. I honestly had no intention of making this video, but when I did just finish the raid, the high of finishing the raid was done, and I just stood in front of that upgrade vendor and I went, oh, I don't even want this gear. Again, guys, that's me. That's my rant over. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more rants and bollocks and pessimistic points of view about Blizzard and raids and all that. Again, I mostly play a priest. I mostly talk about priest on my channel here. So if you're a priest player or you're a healer player in general, make sure to follow. And ultimately, you can catch me over on Kick throughout the week. I am trying to get a bit more of a schedule going there because I'm leveling on hardcore to keep myself interested as I am preparing for TBC, which is, my real goal is TBC, but hardcore is just about crack. I've been having a blast over there. My viewers have been picking my talents for me, removing abilities on me. On the weekends, they're making me take shots and other godforsaken shit. But anyway, guys, you know where to find me. And peace.